If you want to be successful in life, if you want to heal poverty, you must convert people's mentality from that of a taker to that of a giver.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Black Excellence Daily. I am your host, Sean Croxton. Appreciate you tuning in on a Friday. We're going to wrap things up this week with Reverend Ike. If you don't know, Reverend Ike was one of the greatest prosperity teachers of all time. This man nailed it. And in today's clip, he is going to deliver a lesson on how prosperity works. And, have you ever thought about how the terms and the words that we use for money often have to do with water? Currency, for example, cash flow, making it rain. Like, why is that? Is that a coincidence? It's not. The reason why the words we use for money have to do with water is because there's a flow. There is a flow of prosperity. And that flow goes like this. You give, you receive. You give, you receive. You give, you receive. You give something of value, you receive something of value in return. And the more you give, the more value you give, the more value you receive in return. Recall what I said the other day. One of my favorite quotes: the amount of money you have will always be in direct proportion to the quality and the quantity of the service you provide. You go out there and you serve a lot of people with your skills and your services, you are going to be a prosperous individual. Like, why are billionaires billionaires? Because if you look at most of them, you look at how they made their money, they served millions of people. And when you serve millions of people, you deserve to be a billionaire because you've given so much service, like you just can't help to get back a lot of value in return. But we have so many people who are not participating in the flow, the full flow, the giving and the receiving part. They just want to take part in the second part, which is the receiving side, which is the taking side. And that's just not how it works. If you go through life with your hand out, always looking to take, you're going to realize that you have nothing, that you don't have fulfillment, that you don't have prosperity, that you don't have any skills, that there's no service you're providing, that there's no value you're providing. And when you're not providing value, you receive no value in return. You're looking to other people to give it to you for doing absolutely nothing. So to be prosperous, make sure you are in that flow. You cannot step out of the flow and still be prosperous. You have to be in it. You got to give and you receive, and you give and you receive, and you give and you receive. Reverend Ike's coming up.
I and Bishop Jordan were talking last night for a while and this morning. And we were also talking about the fact that it cost money to come to this seminar. And I said, yes, and that is very good because that separates the serious people from the looky-loos. It separates the men from the boys and the women from the girls. And it eliminates those who are looking for something for nothing. You see, you cannot give the greatest values of life to those who want something for nothing. In order to receive the gift of money and to be prosperous and successful, one of the attitudes in the mind that must be broken down is the attitude of something for nothing. That's a very dangerous attitude. You know why? The easiest people in the world to cheat are people who are looking for something for nothing. And people who are looking for something for nothing will get just that. So I'm glad that there was a fee for this seminar. And here's another statement that I would like to give you. You must invest to be blessed. Let's hear it. You must be blessed to be blessed. Somebody's going to write it over here for me. Put it in the first person. I must invest to be blessed. Let's spell it B-L-E-S-S-E-D. You want to spell it the old English style B-L-E-S-T, but I'd rather use the B-L-E-S-S-E-D. You take this lovely cathedral, this church, this parish. If you try to come here and get something for nothing, you're going to miss your blessing. I remember at the church in New York when I used to print the lesson notes and give them to the people with the bulletins as they came in for nothing. And guess where we found them? On the floor after. But now that I charge $1 for the outline, you don't find them on the floor. First of all, people who don't value them don't buy them. Remember, Jesus said, cast not your pearls before swine. Now, he wasn't calling people swine, but that's a swine state of consciousness that does not discern the value of spiritual things. Reminds me of a very stormy press conference I had in Chicago the first time I preached there. And one of the reporters got up and said to me, Reverend Ike, what are you doing to help the black people? I said the same thing I'm doing to help the white people. See, that's another thing. It has always bothered me, and I never accepted it. This idea that maybe white folks need one thing and y'all need something else. When it comes to a thing, we all need the same thing, the same color, green power. So don't tell me that I need something different. That's just a joke. You know, so why they got y'all off trying to get to heaven when you die? They live out on the suburbs. I wouldn't dare call his name because I don't mean any disrespect. I admire this particular evangelist. And he preaches a lot of people into heaven when they die. At the same time, he has a home up in the mountains with guard dogs around it, while the folks are singing, Lord, build me a cabin in the corner of Glory Land. So you watch all these guys that are telling you about, you know, when you get to heaven and you're going to have this, that, and the other, and so on and so forth. Watch where they go when they leave. Somebody say, wise up. Say it again. So we need to stop trying to give people something for nothing. Because here's another principle. Life gives to the giver and takes from the taker. Say that 3 times. Life gives to the giver and takes from the taker. Life gives to the giver and takes from the taker. Once again. Life gives to the giver and takes from the taker. This is why when I was really out there on the evangelistic field holding mass crusades, I would not only receive the offering from the people, but after I received all the offering that they could or would give, then I'd make them pledge. If you want to be successful in life, If you want to heal poverty, pastors, bishops, leaders, you must convert people's mentality from that of a taker to that of a giver. And don't even allow your children to be takers. Of course, now I realize you don't have to refill the ice trays, but it used to bug me. People who would take the ice out of the trays and wouldn't even replace the water. Let me hear you say that's a taker. People who are always running to the cupboard and running to the refrigerator, getting something out of there and never putting anything back in. Let me hear you say that's a taker. Don't even teach your children to do that. I remember some time ago at a resort where I spent the winter, and I had a couple of my employees with me, and one young man was new. And every once in a while, I would see him go to the refrigerator or the freezer looking, and he would say to the other employee who had been with me longer, that's why he was with me longer, "Do you have any ice cream? Do you have any this? Do you have any that?" And he's going to the refrigerator. One day I couldn't take it any longer. So he went to the refrigerator and said, "Do you have it?" I said, "Did you put any in there?" Life gives to the giver, but it takes from the taker. Now, you need to classify yourself right now. I am a giver. Let's hear it. Say it again. The third time. You see, the taker can't do anything but take. But that runs out, just like welfare. They have taught a whole generations of so-called poor people to be what? Takers. And have given them a taker mentality. That's one of the worst things that you can do for people. Don't teach your children, don't bring them up to be takers. Teach them to bring stuff back in the house. If you've got one of those refrigerators that you've got to put water in to make ice, make them do it. Leave them home by themselves one day. Just have somebody watch from outside to be sure they don't burn it down. Life gives to who? And takes from the taker. Oh, yes, I'm on the subject, the gift of money, because you've got to change that mentality. I was speaking to Bishop Jordan in the car as we came along, and here's something very important. People need to understand that your need to give is greater than your need to receive. If you ever learn to be a giver, your problem of receiving is over. That's what Jesus meant when he said, it is more blessed to what? Give than to receive. Why? Because you're a giver. A giver never has any problem receiving. Let's hear it. You see, a giver always reaches the point where he or she has only one complaint left. And it's in the 23rd Psalm. You know what that only complaint is? My cup runneth over. My wardrobes are running over. I don't have enough wardrobes. I don't have enough closets to put my clothes in. I don't have enough garage space to put my cars. I have to start putting my money in more banks because the FDC only insures up to $100,000. Come on now. That's a wonderful problem, let me tell you. Somebody say that's a wonderful problem.
That was Reverend Ike closing out the week. His website is RevIkeLegacy.com. You can watch today's talk on YouTube. It is called Recognizing the Givers and the Takers, Reverend Ike's The Power of Money Seminar, Part 10. Speaking of the flow of giving and receiving, I would love for you to please hook me up with a rating and a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever you listen to the podcast. A 5-star review would be amazing, or 5-star rating would be amazing. If you have a couple minutes to write a quick review, I'd appreciate that as well. And so thank you so much. Have a great weekend. I will see you on Friday. I'm out. Peace.